Well, hello, Audrey here. Thank you for joining us today, October 19th on Audrey Live. And I'm a bit late because I just had a big scam on my computer. Just want to share with you guys, that was very scary. It was about like 521. And all of a sudden, these big things on my computer, Microsoft was saying that I had somebody that had was getting information from my computer, and it locked my computer up. It looked real. It looked very real. It's had even on there. I'm with Execulink. I'm just excited about that. Not excited. I'm just like, so I just got to tell everybody before I get started so that it doesn't happen to you. So anyway, it was this big screen comes up. It says Microsoft. It's got the logos. It even had my ISP address, and it had Execulink, and that they're in Woodstock, Ontario. So it was very, very real looking. I mean, really very real looking. And then there's a telephone number. It says, call this telephone number to unlock your computer. And there's even somebody talking to you. Just don't do anything. Don't turn your computer off. Call this number. And I'm like, oh, I just didn't trust it. So I just called Execulink because that's my provider. And they said, no, don't do anything. It's a scam. So I had never heard of this one. There's so many scams out there. It's really hard to know. So just a word of wisdom out there, like anytime something happens on your computer, do not call the number that they're telling you to call. Call your provider that you trust, that you're using, and they will guide you along the proper way. So yeah, so that happened all like 5-1. I'm all ready. I'm on Zoom. I'm ready to get started, finishing all my last little things here. And there we go. So it was a very panicky last 5 to 7 minutes, but now I am here. I'm live. And yeah, thank you for joining us here. We have a great show today. We have Pat Lentine and we have Sue Powers on the show today. Two wonderful, creative women who are here to share all of their knowledge and some of their projects, and also a little sneak peek into what they're going to be teaching at the Art Waves live online fall show. So don't forget to mention where you're from on the post. And if you have any questions along the way, I will kind of keep an eye on it and ask them any questions. And we'll just go from there. Just wanted to share a couple of things that have been going on the last couple of weeks or the last week or so. Ashley and Sam, my daughter Ashley, they finally moved into their home in Dashwood, and they're so excited, and the kids are so excited. It's a wonderful property, and there's lots for the kids to do there. And also they have, it's almost like a little mini hobby farm. They've got like 5 or 6 apple trees and peach trees and pear trees and raspberries. Anna loves the raspberries, and grapes, Concord grapes. I've already made grape jam. We've made applesauce, apple crisp. The peaches were pretty well, they were done by the time they moved in, and there wasn't much left to the pears. So, but it was really, really great, and they're enjoying their home and getting all settled in there. So also we've had lots of cross country. I'm going to share a picture here with you. Where did it go? Oh, no, that's not it. Let me see. Where did that picture go? I know I had it here. I had it here somewhere. I will find it. That's really strange. Oh, I know, because of all my problems, it went away, of course. Thinking, where did that picture go? I had it up, but yes, of course, we had our little issue. Where did I put the picture now? Well, I will find it. I will find it very quickly here. Sorry. I might have put, you know what? It might have disappeared. So maybe what I'll do, I'm going to share each picture individually. So this, let's see. First of all, this picture right here. So this picture I wanted to share, and it's of Mike and Anna eating their raspberries on the side of their new home. So just kind of a really neat This was a couple weeks ago when it was warm and they had just moved in, and just love picking those raspberries and apples and all that sort of thing, and sitting at the side of the home, eating them and enjoying them. I don't think they actually got too many of them in the house. They were basically eaten just like that. The next one is we've had some cross country going on the last couple weeks. This is Daphne. She ran in her local meet and got 8th place. And then she went on to the Thames Valley cross country finals, which was at Fanshawe Conservation Area the other day, and ended up 27th. So that was really exciting. And congratulations, Daphne. And the last one, let's see here, we have, where did you go? Where did you go? Oh, you know what? I don't know if this one's going to work or not. Oh, darn. Micah ran in the cross country of his area as well. First time. I know a lot of you ask about Micah and how he's doing, and he's doing awesome. He's doing so great, and we're so excited for him and all that he's done. And he actually ran in the their meet and finished. So that was a huge accomplishment for him. It was a kilometer that he had to run, and it was just so great too. I'm trying to find the picture here of him. Well, here's, I think hopefully I can share this with you. See. Sorry about this. I had it all ready, and with everything that happened, I must have lost it. All right, there we go. So we'll get this one up. There I am. And there's Micah. So there he is. So he ran up in Clinton, their area, and did the run of 1 kilometer, and he finished the race, and he was so proud of himself, and we were so extremely proud of him as well. So that was such great news and a great accomplishment for him. He's doing very well, and he still was doing his MRIs every 3 months. And this week, they went in for the appointment, and it was clear again. And the doctor told my daughter that now they can go every 6 months. So that's just huge. And yeah, he's on the road to recovery, and it's such a blessing. So thank you, so many of you, for asking and inquiring about Mike and his journey. So and the family journey that way as well. So thank you. Just wanted to kind of put a quick little shout out for all those out there that are dealing with their own journey, whether it's mental illness or physical illness or loss. There's just seems to be so much going on in the world right now. I find it sometimes difficult to watch the news because it's just so overwhelming, and you just feel like you're at a loss sometimes, that there's nothing you can do to help. But pray. And that's what I certainly do for many, many people and across the world, and family and friends, and just for peace and for forgiveness, and for moving forward. So just maybe keep that in mind as well in your own life. Well, I think we are going to get started with our first guest. Our first guest to date is Sue Powers, and she is from Oklahoma City. Let me just see where she is here. I believe, there we go. From Oklahoma City. Sue took her first decorative painting class in 1985 and has not stopped painting since. She actually started teaching painting classes by an act of Mother Nature. A teacher was scheduled to teach at a local mini convention. At the last minute, was unable to attend. Sue had just completed a class at a local shop, and they asked her to repeat it at the convention. Students switched to this unknown teacher. She scurried to gather services and supplies, and we're off to a fun class. And she has been teaching in some manner ever since. Welcome, Sue.
Hi.
Hello.
How are
nice
you
to have
today?
with us. Good.
Thank you.
What an exciting day.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard earlier, I had a bit of a crash like 5 minutes before the show. So I was like, what am I going to do? Not a crash, but basically a scam had locked my computer.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Geez. Okay.
So it was a little bit scary. I had to call my provider, which is Execulink, and they quickly came to my rescue and told me what to do and said, yes, this is a scam. Do not call, do not push any buttons. So, and I hadn't heard of this before, this Microsoft scam.
New one. They're coming up with new ones all the time. It's crazy. It's crazy.
They are. So what are you working on nowadays? Like, have you been working on fall things, Christmas things? What's your schedule like?
Well, I've worked on Santa Clauses, you know me.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to get some Santa Clauses done, trying to get some submissions in and things like that. Trying to do a little more outside the box of Santa Clauses than just that, but sometimes I always just kind of fall back on that. That's my thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of what I've been doing.
Perfect.
Planning some classes coming up.
Oh, good. Now, do you do online classes, in-person classes? What's kind of your?
Well, I've been doing not as many in-person classes as I used to, but I'm always open to that. We don't have the same group of people around locally that we had at one time, so I don't do as many of that, but I've been doing some online classes. I have a couple scheduled through, well, I have one scheduled through you for the convention.
Yeah.
And I have a couple scheduled through Artful Webinars. And
Perfect.
so just trying to keep all the balls in the air at the same time,
Yeah,
which is
perfect.
sometimes crazy.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Did you want to talk about some of your upcoming classes?
Well,
with
I
Artful
can
Webinars,
show
or?
them.
Okay, perfect.
Let me see if you can see. I blurred my background because I'm in my studio and it's a mess. So we'll see if you can see them, or if I have to unblur my background.
You might have to unblur your
Blur
background.
the background. Okay, that's kind of what I thought at the last minute. Okay, so this is the one that I'm teaching for you for the Art Waves Live online show, and it is on Saturday, November 4th from 3 to 7 Eastern time.
Perfect.
So that is and the big thing is, of course, there's stenciling and there's decoupage, but it's learning to make this fluffy beard without putting gray underneath it. We're actually using the navy from the stocking as the background, and the highlights and shadows. So there's a lot of fun things there.
And that one's called By the Chimney with Care.
Going on. By the Chimney with Care.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Okay. And then this one, Santa Clauses again. I'm teaching for Artful Webinars.
Perfect. Oh, those are adorable.
And that is on Saturday, November 18th from noon to 4 Eastern time. And it's a class called Believe. So
they can just go to that website or to register as well?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Artful Webinars. And it's stenciling and learning how to put some extra strokes into your beard to make it a little different. And this one I just scheduled last night. We're working, and it's mainly the wood piece, but we're working with quickwood to enhance the Santa with quickwood for the nose and the mustache and lips. So it gives it multidimensional. And it can be used. When I originally did it, I did it in this floral wire wreath, and it can be used as an ornament. Or if you have, sometimes you have that little piece of wall that's between two doors and you don't have anything that fits there. This is nice and thin. It's only about 3 inches. And so you could make that to fit there. And that's on Tuesday, December 5th from 6:30 to 9:30 Eastern time. And it's called Santa Ring. It's not up on the website yet because I have to get her the stuff later today.
And so fitting that
today.
December 5th is I'm from Dutch heritage, and December 5th is St. Nicholas Day. So
Oh, okay.
you can
I've
tell
heard of that,
you
but
can
I
tell
didn't know
people
what
that when
date
you're
it was.
teaching.
Well, that's perfect. That's perfect. And
Yeah.
then this is the spring, even though it's fall, is a class I'm teaching at their convention in the spring, Artful Webinars. And it's a beginner class.
Oh, nice.
And it's for beginners or people who haven't been painting very long to learn a few techniques about stenciling and taping off. You know, there's a trick to everything
Yeah,
and
yeah.
some floating. And it's also a great project for teachers who want to have an easy project for a beginner class. And then they can take that to some beginner students, and we can get some other people interested in our painting.
Yeah. And I think that's the challenge nowadays, is getting new people involved. You know, like there's just a core group that, you know, is getting older and older, but to get that younger,
Exactly.
it's really a struggle, isn't it?
It is
Yeah.
to get people going, and, you know, to give them some easy things to make it easier for them to do. That's the hard part, because sometimes they'll start and say, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
want to give them some little tips.
Perfect. All right. And you were going to demo for us this today. Now, are you just flipping something, or do I need to add in? I saw there was a few more things.
You need to make me a co-host if you haven't.
I did. I
can
made you
share
that
my
you could,
screen.
I could share the screen. So I think you can do that now.
Okay. Let me make sure. It will tell me if I can or can't.
There we go.
I can. There we go. So, okay. What I'm going to do is show you how I do an eye, because I do most of my eyes, big or small, have quite a bit of detail in them, but it helps to make them more realistic. And what I've done is that this is just a white piece of cardstock, and I painted this center almond oval with titanium white, and then I put a little of my flesh color around the edge so you could see that. I have not shaded on that flesh color. That would be a lot longer of a demo. So we're just going to make a brown eye. And what I do for a brown eye, and when I put my design on, you can see the lines in my pattern here where I put the original design on, and then I outline everything with burnt sienna. And so it shows through, and I always say, so I don't end up with a three-eyed Santa Claus. It's so easy to lose your pattern if you just start floating and painting on the design that does not have your outline on it. So by putting the outline for all the details, it helps you maintain the way the design is supposed to be. The other thing it helps you do is that when you repeat the design, it gives you some muscle memory in your brain and your hand, so that you remember how some of the design should be, even if you can't completely see everything that's going on. Now we've got, this is on paper, so unfortunately it doesn't dry super fast, but I'm going to wave it around because I forgot my heat tool. Okay, so I've done that, and that's just a base coat of burnt sienna. So I like to put a highlight on mine. Excuse me. Let me get a cough drop here. And what I do is I do a flow. I load my brush with just a brush mix. I do not mix it on my palette. I've got white and burnt sienna, and I'm going to put a float across the bottom of the eye. But it's not going clear to the bottom. It's leaving a little line across there. And that's a little highlight. Now, since this is a huge eye, I'm going to do one other thing that I do quite often, and that's to put lines, radiating lines in the eye. And I do that by mixing just a slight bit of black, brush mix again, in with my burnt sienna, so it's just a touch darker. And I put a dot just above center. And then I start to pull with those liner brush, radiating lines out from the center. And they are not all perfect. They're not all the same length. If you study your own eye in the mirror, this is what it's simulating. You will see those in your eye. And it has to do with how the light hits it and how you are, the light is refracting the colors of your eye. So when I have that all in there and dry, and I'm doing this real fast, so remember, I'm not getting all the coverage. Then I put, if the eye is looking basically straight on to me, I put what I call a tornado stroke. And the tornado stroke puts the iris, puts the pupil in the iris so that it fools your eye to think it's perfectly round. But what it is it's a series of lines, and you start at the top and go all the way across the top of the pupil. And then you put a second line across, and each one gets just a little bit shorter. So by the time you get 2/3 of the way down, you've got something that looks similar to a tornado. And more of the country is getting tornadoes, so you've kind of seen what they look like. So when you look at that and you have two eyes looking at it, your mind will fool your eye that you're looking at what you really want and what you've got. Now I put a float across my eye, and I put it underneath the eyelid on the eye itself. And I do that to shade the eyelid so that it looks like it's set back. And that gives it a little more realistic look. And you really need to wait for your black to dry. And I use Payne's Gray because Payne's Gray is a very transparent color. And I start in one corner and I go under the eyelid and all the way across the black and into the other corner. So you've got a shadow. On the eye itself. So just set back. When I paint all the flesh around it, I've also done shading, so that looks like it's rolling back and is dimensional. And that's the whole idea. If your Santa looks flat, he's more of a character Santa, where if you have the shading and the depth to it, it's more of a realistic. Now on this one, since it is such a large eye and it's looking straight ahead, I know you always see these things in the corners of your own eye where you have a little red spot. Well, I accomplished that by using a little burnt sienna, because a thin amount and small burnt sienna kind of looks red. Then, when I've done all of that, I line the eye. And when I start at the corner, I always call it turning the corner, and I just put a little dash there. And then I go across the top of the eye. When you have two eyes and one is larger than the other and one is smaller, you can make them very similar to the same size by the one that is larger putting your line right on the inside edge of that eyelid, and the one that is smaller, put it right on the outside edge of the eyelid. And 99% of the time, your eyes will begin to look very similar. If you look at your own eyes in the mirror and study them, and I'll tell you, painting Santas, I've studied my eyes, my wrinkles, everything, and everybody has those. So,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
no matter how old you are, you have wrinkles.
Yeah.
So you can translate those into the Santa face. And then I pull eyelashes, and my formula, let's call it, for eyelashes is not too many, too long, or too curly. I usually only put 4 to 5 and just pull them. I always pull them out to the sides, both sides of the eye, doesn't matter which eye I'm working on. And the last thing to really bring it to life is I put a highlight. And I will pull a stroke, usually about 7, 8 o'clock. And I will put dots on the color of the eye, on the pupil and on the iris up around 1 or 2 o'clock to give it a highlight. And at that point, you have a fairly realistic looking eye. Rarely do you have an eye on a piece, unless you're painting a whole Santa on a wall. You're not going to have a piece like this. This is probably about a 6-inch eye. So when you condense that down to a smaller piece, it's going to look a little different. But that's the idea of all the details you can put into an eye. And even on, like I said, on tiny eyes, a lot of times I will put those lines in there, and sometimes I will leave them out. It just depends on how much of the eye. But I have done ornaments, and you know how small eyes can be on ornaments, and have proceeded to
Put that
put
in.
all those details in there. Yeah.
Perfect.
So it just depends on what you feel you need to add. So
Yeah.
that's how I do my eyes.
That is just wonderful. I mean, it looks gorgeous. And it, like when you do it step by step like that, yeah, it's very not easy to do, but it just seems much more manageable to do, right? For even a beginner.
That's exactly, it's those little steps and one at a time that really gives you a better look. So that's what I do.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. Maybe we can have you just flip. There we go.
There we go. Had to find the right button.
There we go. Yeah. Ramona comments too. So I love learning about eyes. This is amazing. So, well, thank you so much for showing us that little tidbit. And I know they will learn much, much more in your class.
Definitely.
At the Art Waste Fall show. So hopefully people will sign up. There's still time. We have about 2.5 weeks, I believe, before the show
like that.
Yeah.
Join us. It'll be a fun class, and we'll do eyes, and we'll do a fluffy great beard. So yes,
Perfect.
I'd love to have you join me.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sue.
All right. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye now.
Yeah. Bye-bye. That was amazing. I know eyes, I'm always intimidated by eyes, and I do love Santas. I have a collection of Santas that I've painted over the years and haven't really done any new ones recently. So maybe I'll have to give it a go. Just looking back in the comments, first of all, hello, Sharon. I haven't heard from Sharon and Pat Bernstadt for a while. I'm so glad you're back on and that everything's not probably back to normal, but at least you're settled. They're up Hay River, Northwest Territories. And she said, so I know they were, having a lot of issues with the water and the flooding and the fires and everything that was going on in that area. I believe it was the fires that she had. But she said they got caught up with the same scam. They texted Microsoft, got a list of numbers and phoned. And she said, would you believe it? But we phoned the scammers. They accidentally phoned the scammers. They locked us out and it ended up costing them $1,500. So this is, I mean, like I said, it's the first time I've heard about this Microsoft scam, but obviously it's been out there for a while. And just beware that anytime your computer locks up on you and you think, it talks to you to call that number, don't call that number. Call your internet provider. Whoever your internet provider is, they will guide you in the right path. So, they were evacuated for 5 weeks. Sharon, are you back home? I hope you're back home. Yeah, my heart goes out to you. I know I've been thinking about you and Pat, and I know I sent an email and hadn't heard. So I'm really glad to hear from you and that everything is hopefully on the path back to getting your home to where you want it to be again and getting settled. So she said, yes, finally. Good, good, good. Thank you, Sharon, for sharing and for being online. Hello, hello. I'm so glad you're here. All right. Well, thank you so much, Sue. That was amazing. Like I said, love learning about eyes. And it's one of those things that intimidates most of us, especially when they're teeny tiny. But the way she did it, that little step by step, I think that definitely will help me. And I like that tornado idea that you're just putting it in there. So yeah, thank you very much. Our next guest is Pat Lentine. Pat is originally from the Chicago area, but has lived in Florida since 1987. Lucky her. Nice and warm. After years in Clearwater, then Orlando, they moved to New Smyrna Beach 5 years ago. And probably it's like 6 or 7 years ago now. Pat has been drawing as long as she can remember. She discovered a book by Helen Barrett, which was one of my favorite beginning ones as well. I did a lot of Helen Barrett in the late 70s, which led her to decorative painting. She has been designing and teaching since the early 90s. She has traveled throughout the US teaching, drawing, and painting at art conventions and private studios. She teaches acrylics, colored pencil, pastel, watercolor, having taught all levels of all artists. Pat holds both signatures as a member of the Colored Pencil Society of America and being juried in many shows. She has several Best in Show awards and numerous first place ribbons for her works. She now teaches mostly on Zoom and occasionally in local classes. So here, I believe this one, it will be Pat. We'll start with her. Hello, Pat.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good, good.
I gotta check. Okay. Oh, I thought I. Check. Okay. Wait 1 second.
No problem. And I can bring your other one in whenever we're ready that you're doing the demo that I can bring, because I see you have your second device.
Right. Okay. I thought I was watching you on Facebook on my iPad.
Yeah.
I thought when I closed it, it would stop it, but it didn't stop it right away.
Oh. So what have you been up to?
Oh, I've been busy. I just got back from a week in the Chicago area visiting family. And
nice.
so I'm glad to be home. I just got back the other day. So, but before I left, I've been, I got to working a little bit on stuff. So yeah, I've got one of the things I was working on before I left, just finished up, was
oh my goodness.
and that's pastel. So
that is gorgeous.
I
Wow.
gotta get it framed. I don't like to not frame my pastels so that they're protected.
Now, do you know this person in the picture?
That's
Or
my
just
granddaughter.
your grand?
Actually, she's 22 now, and about, I don't know how many years ago, she requested that I do that picture, and I started it years ago and just finally finished it. So
Wow, that is simply amazing. Very amazing. She's going to be so happy with that.
yeah, I haven't showed it to her yet, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to surprise her with a print or if I'm gonna, you know, so I haven't showed it to her yet. And
Yeah.
then I'm working on Christmas stuff. I every year I do candlesticks, Santa candlesticks for family and friends.
Oh,
And
nice.
have I ever showed you those?
No, you haven't.
Can I share my screen?
Let me just make sure. I think I've put it on. Yep, you should be able to.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to pull it up. Give me 1 second. I got to pull it up first. Here we go. Okay, I will share my screen.
Is it working? Oh,
There
there
we
we go.
That was
Oh
1 year.
my.
1 year I painted those in 1 year. I was busy, and now I don't do as many each year, but I do some every year
Wow. That's
for
incredible.
family and friends. There's some eggs down there in front and some finials and just all different pieces.
And a lot of faces.
Yeah, yes, and it's all assembly line style. So and
Wonderful.
I do that. These are chair legs, table and chair legs. These tall
Oh,
ones.
wow.
So you just turn them upside down and paint the table and chair legs. They're a
Oh
lot of
my
fun.
goodness. Now
And
I
then
see it.
down in
Yes.
front, there's a regular candlestick here. So
And then a couple bells, almost look like bells in the front.
yes, there's a
Maybe
bell
one bell.
there.
Yeah.
Mhm. And then a tiny little candles, some tiny little ones down here.
Wow.
So
That
yeah.
must have taken you a long time.
Well, you know, I would set it up and then just to do all the base coating of the flesh and then all the eyes and then all the, you know, just pick one
Yeah,
up, put
yeah.
it down, pick one up and put it down. But yeah.
And keep going and keep going.
Yeah. And you know, doing assembly line like that, I discovered when you paint for craft shows, and that's how I started, you know, assembly line craft show painting.
Yeah.
You get to be a better painter because when you're painting one piece, it's like, oh, that eye's not right. I got to fix it. Oh, I got to fix this. I got to fix that. When you're doing assembly line, it's like, oh, I'll fix it on the next one. Oh, I'll do better on the next one. And you just keep painting and
Yeah.
you really do a better job. I mean, you get to be a better painter that way.
Yeah. And they're all unique that way too, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Good, good. Was there anything else you wanted to share with us before we go to the demo? Things that you're working on or classes you're
Yeah,
teaching?
I will. I'll
Do you want me to
share.
bring the other one in?
Right now, I'll just share my screen.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, this is one that I'm doing for Artful Webinars on October 26th, and it's a watercolor, and the detail work is done with pencils and pens. So it's you don't have to have a fine hand to do it, and it's just a quick watercolor piece, and it's a lot of fun. And it's
Perfect.
called My BFF, and that's for Artful Webinars. And then another one I'm doing for them for their convention in March is this pastel rose. That's March 2nd, and that's 4-hour class, and it's all done with pastel pencils.
Beautiful.
And this is another watercolor piece done with for beginners, and it's done without a pattern, and it's just they're fun, quick, easy. You can do them on cards, you can do them for gifts, you know. That's a quick and easy watercolor. Oops, I lost my mouse or my pointer. And then they're make it take it for that program for that convention is this cougar. And if you need information on any of those classes, you can go to my website, which is
Perfect.
patlentine.com, or you can email me at pat@patlentine.com. And then for our convention, this is a value study, and it's done November 1st from 10 to 2, and it's done with one pencil. We do the value study all in one monotone color. And then I added some pink cheeks and lips and a little bit of flesh tone, and it doesn't show up much on the camera, but a little bit of gold in the hair. So that is a nice piece that, as I said, you learn how to do shading and values, and I love my colored pencil, but the pastel is done. You could do it faster, quicker. So
Okay.
that's what I like about the pastel pencil, and it's blendable. And this is the sunrise that I'm doing on November 3rd from 10 to 2. And I will be showing you, you can put some figures in it if you want to, or you can just do the sunrise. And this again is done with all pastel pencils. And it can be done with, you can bring your own pencils if you have them, whatever you like, but it also can be done with one box of 12 general pencils. So it's not a big investment to, get your pencils just for this piece if you don't have any. And I think the general pencils are available pretty well anywhere. And like I say, it's a box of 12 plus one black pencil is what that's done with. And that, as I said, November 3rd. And then here's my Santa.
Mhm.
And this is done with just a box of general pencils, the same box, and one black pencil. And that's on November 5th from 10 to 4. And he's just a fun, easy thing to do. And you learn flesh tone, you learn how to do fur, you learn how to do clothing, and of course the hair and the beard. And so it's just a great learning piece.
Beautiful. Yeah, I love that. He's got a more mature look of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Santas as well. I do a lot of Santa painting. So
Santa's, well, portraits are my passion, but I do love Santas, and I was doing Santas for years, a lot of Santas. So
good. Perfect.
and if anybody's in the New Smyrna Beach area, I teach in person at New Smyrna Beach as well. So
Yeah.
and I
Perfect.
teach on Zoom. I teach weekly classes on Zoom. So
And they get all that information on your website as well.
yes, it's all on my website.
Oh, good. Oh, and there's your friend.
Yeah, she always is here during Zoom. She's going to be a pest. She wants on the table because normally in my weekly classes, I let her on the table a lot. So she's up here listening to everybody talk. So,
All right. And you're going to demo for us some using the pastels?
yes, I thought I'd show how quick and simple it is. And yeah, if you let my other camera in.
Yeah. It's joining right now, it says. So let's see if we can get
and you
it.
can put me in the waiting room or spotlight me, however you.
Maybe I'll just pin
Okay.
that.
Well, no, they won't see the pin. Only you see the pin. Can you spotlight?
For some reason, it's not doing that. Letting me, It's just letting me pin it for some reason. And I don't know why, because usually it says spotlight. Oh, there it is. Spotlight for everybody. There we go. Now it's there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, it's wanting me to check in here.
We're seeing your fan. I think we're seeing your.
I know.
screen. Oh, there we go.
I couldn't change it until I checked in. so.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the sunrise that I will be doing. And I'm doing it without the figures, but if we have time, we will put the figures in, but the instructions have patterns, line drawings for the figures. It has the size that a person could make their own line drawing if they want to. It tells you what size to do it in. And it's just really quick and easy to do. And I'll talk about that afterwards. But like I say, if there's time, we will do the figures. If not, I will just exactly tell you how to do it. So that's the sunrise with those figures. This one is not signed. So this was a demo that I did, and I did not finish it. So this one's not quite finished, but that's another one with another figure. And then I wanted to show you this one, and this was also a demo, but this one is on a different colored paper.
Yeah.
So you can see it on a different colored paper as well. So you can do it on either color. So
Perfect. Yeah, it does give it quite a different look, doesn't it?
right, it gives it a little bit more of a glow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought I would show you a little bit on how I get started on this, because, and this is my little practice piece here, but how I get started, because I won't show you the finish, but it's easy to do, and you can learn how easy it is to apply it, and how relatively quick it is. So the first thing I do is draw in a horizon line. So I know where the horizon ends, and the horizon line is in black, and it has a little bit of a, it's not even, it's not a straight line, so it's easy to put in. Then and I'm just going to do from the top up. Let's see here. I've got my pencils all laid out, but of course one of them's broke, even though I sharpened them before I started. Okay, so then I'm going to put in a little bit of violet here. And I use the side of the pencil for right above the horizon, because the horizon is usually, to make it set back, it's a cool, a lot of times a violet tone. And then I might put in some white right where I see the sun peeking through. Maybe a little bit here, a little bit here. And I would put that in the water as well. I'm not going to do it today, but the reflection in the water would have that sun area as well as reflection. Then I'd put the yellow over that white, and maybe streak in some yellow in the sky. Looking at I have step-by-step photos, and I'm doing this quickly, and I'm not studying the photos, so I might not get it exactly the way the photo is, but I do have step-by-step photos showing you where to put these if you need help. Some people like to put it where they want, wherever they want to, but then I would put the orange in. And I couldn't find my general pencil orange, so I just substituted with another pencil, but I would use the general pencil orange. Then I would take some gray, and I'm going to put blue in next. And if you put blue next to yellow, you get green. So I don't want green. I can, a little green is okay, but I don't want a lot of green. So where I think the blue is going to be, I might put a little gray next to the yellow, and hopefully I won't get green. And then I would put some blue in, and I'd have to, that's the pencil that broke after I sharpened. Oh, I've got my hand. That broke after I sharpened it, so I have to sharpen it. Sorry for the noise if you're hearing the noise.
No,
Okay.
we're not hearing any noise.
Okay, then I might put in, yeah, electric pencil sharpeners, they can be aggravating. But I'm too much in a hurry to use a handheld pencil sharpener. So I always use an electric one. So then I might put the blue in. And if you have a light blue pencil, you can use a light blue pencil, but sometimes the box of 12 does not have a light blue pencil. So I substituted the dark blue to stay with the box of 12. But then I can lighten that blue if I put a little flesh over it. So you can either use light blue or use the indigo and then lighten it up a bit. And then I took the light flesh and I actually blended over all of the area with the light flesh. And I see I have a kind of a line in the middle here, so I'd have to adjust that, which is really easy to do with this, but I don't like that line in the middle. I mean, kind of a, you know, a space there. So I can adjust that as I go along. And what I usually do, and I tell people I'm getting a little bit of dust here. And I always tell people it's not a good idea to blow, because blowing, you inhale and then you get the dust in your lungs. So it's not a good idea to blow. I do blow sometimes and I tell myself I shouldn't, but I have a waste basket next to my table usually. And I will just take the paper and go like this over the waste basket. You can see a little bit of dust fell out, not much, but that way you don't get dust all over. And it just takes the dust off. With the pencils, there's not that much dust as there is with the new pastels or the soft pastels. So then I might go back over the white. And then put the indigo in. If I need some more indigo, I might put a little, let's see, maybe a little dark in here. Maybe some up at the top. And then I would take the orange and the yellow. Let me pick these up. And more white if I needed it. So then I brighten up the orange if I needed it. I'm going to pull a streak through here to try to get rid of that line there. And put the yellow on it. And you can go over the yellow and you can go into the other, just don't go into the blue unless you buffer it with some gray. Or orange. You can buffer the blue with gray or orange. Oh, I just blew. Tell you not to blow and I just blew. It's just a habit I have.
It's a habit, exactly, yeah.
Okay, so then you could lighten the white if you want to. And then I took a touch of red. Let me find my red. And I put a touch of, I'm looking at my notes, give me a second. Oh, after that, I did use the gray to blend a little bit. Almost missed that step. So I did, you can use whatever gray comes in the box to kind of blend. And I blend with the side of my pencil. And then I put the, oops, I picked up the wrong color. Picked up the red and put a little red in the orange just to brighten it up a bit. Not all of the orange, but just a little bit.
Yeah.
And go back with the orange if you need to. you can just go in with, see how easy it is to change the look of it if you want to. And I'm just doing this fast, so I'm not paying that close of attention, but and then you can take the wrong color, yellow. What did I do with my yellow? Maybe that was the yellow. That is the yellow, just looked dirty. You can take the yellow and blend everything in. A little bit over the white. There's a lot of blending tools to use with this, and I do sometimes use the blending tools, but I find that the pencils do a good job of blending. And you can also go over it with the gray if needed. You just look at your piece. Everybody looks at their piece to decide what they need. Okay, I'm going to look at it. I've been looking at it in front of me. I'm going to look at it on the screen now. It always helps to look and see what everybody else is seeing. And then I lightly dust it with my finger. You can use gloves. If you don't want to use your finger, you can use a kneaded eraser. And that, like I say, there's a lot of different tools that are that blend the pastels. There's some I don't like people always grab Q-tips. Q-tips remove a lot of the pigment, as well as a sponge. A normal sponge will remove a lot of the pigment. So you have to try it out. But there are different things like insulation. They use popcorn. They use pipe insulation, but I'm just going to dust back and forth. I'm not pressing with my finger. And I had a cloth.
Blends it all together.
Yes, it does.
Even more. Wow.
What happened to my cloth? I had a cloth to wipe my finger off with, but oh well. So, and so that's the first stage. And you can see how quick and how that goes so well. No problem. And then I would do the water next. So let's show you, which is a good one. I guess this one. So then I would work my way down, and I would do the black and the yellow and the colors in the water. And this one, as I said, is not finished, but I can see on this, it needs some reflection here from the sun.
Oh, yeah.
So, and you can go in and add, colors so easily. So, so that's the reflection coming down. I might even make it just a little bit stronger. But so I would work my way down, and then I would go back and redo what I did here, change it, do whatever I wanted to do, and then I would work on that a little bit more. I kind of put it all in, then I do the bottom, and then I go back and refine it. And then what I would telling you about the silhouettes, like I say, there's a line drawings. I have several of them, but it's put in just with a pen. This is a Tombow pen. It's a black pen, and that's what I used. But you can use a permanent pen, whatever pen you have on hand, because I have used permanent pens, Sharpies even on here. So very quick, and you learn a little bit about the sunrise. And so that's my
Beautiful.
So
that was great.
So I hope I have people join me, because it's like I say, it's a fun project to do, and you get it done quick.
Yeah.
Relatively,
Yeah. Perfect. All right. I'm going to remove the spotlight there a minute. So we're all back. Well, thank you so much. That was very interesting. I love that. I've always been intimidated by the colored pencils, but that's just something kind of even just to start out with, just to kind of get an idea. Now, what type of paper was it again? Somebody was asking.
This is Canson Meetins paper.
Okay. Yeah.
I find that is very forgiving, and takes a lot of pigment. You can use a lot of different papers. I mean, there's, if you have papers on hand, but that is the paper that I used.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, perfect.
I
Well,
like
thank you so much.
I do like to say that I'm not fussy. In any of my classes, you can bring alternate pencils, alternate paper. You may get a little different look, but if you don't want to go out and invest, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Good. Good. All right. Well, thank you so much, Pat. It's been great having you.
Thank
And
you.
look forward to everybody can check out your classes on our website, and hopefully more will sign up. We got 2 weeks left to go. So the push
Yeah,
is on.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
All right. Take care. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was wonderful. Such a neat demo. I just want to go now and make some sunsets and sunrises and things like that, and just kind of play with it. I guess that's what's kind of neat is you don't have to make you can just play with it and try things out. So so thank you very much, Pat. Thank you, Sue, for being part of the show today and sharing all your talents. That was just wonderful. Just a great show. And just thank you for everybody who's watching. I see now we have Pam and Linda and Margie and Maureen and Georgia and Sharon and Pat. So it was just great to have so many joining us here today. So just a reminder that this is our last online show. So we really hope that you'll join us. It's the Art Waves Live online. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. So all of a sudden, if I sneeze, I apologize. You know how you get that and it's just there. It's going to come out. Perhaps it'll wait. Anyway, November 1st to the 5th is the online show. So 2 weeks from now. So there's still time. You can go to our website, www.c2cevents.com, and all the classes are there, and you can register online, or if you want, you can print out the registration sheet and just email it to me, or you can just give me a call on the phone. I know there's been a few people that have emailed me the last day or so that we're having problems with the online registration, so I'm not quite sure why. Others are working, so but you can just give me a call and we can do the entire process over the phone as well. So that's not a problem. The old fashioned way still works. So yeah, I mean, it includes on the Wednesday night, we'll have our kickoff party, and there's just some great opportunities there to take classes from many different teachers from all across North America. So hope that you will join us again. That's November 1st to the 5th. With the show being in 2 weeks, we are taking a little break from Audrey Live. So you won't see us for a little bit. Maybe before Christmas, we'll do a few shows because we will be working on our first back in-person retreat. It won't look like what our shows used to be. So don't expect a big show or anything like that. We're just kind of slowly getting back to seeing people that might be interested in the in-person. So our first retreat is going to be the Art Wave Spring Retreat, April 26th to the 28th, 2024. And it's going to be at the Oakwood Resort in Grand Bend, Ontario. It'll be a fabulous creative weekend. Right now we have Pam Cayley from London and Annette Vanderheide that will be teaching for us. And everybody is going to be doing the same thing. We're going to kind of do like I don't know what you would call it, but I know when we used to do retreats for the Arts and Hobby Association, which was then EFCI, we did retreats that everybody did things together and really got a creative networking weekend, bonding weekend, and it was just fabulous. So we're going to try that. So everybody's going to be doing the same projects. There's going to be of course, a couple painting project, maybe mixed media project, maybe even an outside of the box kind of project. And you can stay at the Oakwood Resort. Their accommodations are very inexpensive, $109 a night, which is like unheard of. And we're working on meal plans and all that sort of thing. So we just hope you come. People will each have their own table. So it'll be like a 6-foot table that you'll have to set up for the weekend. And there'll be some free time in between that you can go for a walk. It's right on the water. You can go for a swim, or you can sit back at your table and work on other projects that you've been working on. So keep your eye on some more information for that. So We look forward to having hopefully many more of you with us at the our last online show. And take care of yourself, take care of each other, and hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.